Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Novawar.
And MaximusBlack.
And we are bringing you another When Cheese Fails, Season 11, Episode possibly 7, the Season of Aggressively Examined Prostates. You got like 85% of that one.
85%.
That's higher than 50, and even higher than 0, which you had at one point.
Yes.
So that is a constant improvement. A constant improvement. Mr. MaximusBlack. Hit me up with the sound of writing a test, thinking that you bombed it completely and failed it, and were hopefully, at the very least, only going to lose Starcraft for a week. But then getting the test back and finding out that you actually did really well and scored like an 85%.
What the fuck? Somebody put my name on this test?
Is that my handwriting?
That's literally...
Is that how it went?
It's about as exciting as it gets.
As exciting as it gets?
Yeah.
You're just so confused that you can't even like...
You know, that's actually happened to me once before in high school. It was a history test. And... no, it was a geography test.
Yes.
And when I look back at my life, all right, my high school, my long life here.
Long life.
Yeah, the 27 years I've been on this earth.
Yes.
But when I look back in high school, and I think about some of the tests that I've done.
Yes.
I try and think to myself, and I look at guys like you, right? That was like a straight A student.
Sure.
And I before back in the day, I'd be like, man, Adam's a super smart guy. I mean, I still think you're smart.
Well, thank you.
But I mean, like, I used to like think like, guys like you or girls like that had the same marks as you, that you guys were like some sort of species. Like you guys like
we were a totally different breed.
Yeah. That like all you did was like study and all this other shit.
Yeah.
But in the reality of it is high school is really, really fucking easy. When I look back at it,
yeah,
and I think about it now, like some of the shit, like even like math, and stuff like that, it's just all about paying attention. Sure, there's hard work involved, and you have to do your homework and stuff.
You have cracked the code. If you pay attention, it's not nearly as hard.
Exactly.
If you don't pay attention, shit can get lost in translation.
Exactly, right? So I look back, like I wasn't one of those like 50% students. I was like a C average guy, right?
Yeah.
So like I did okay. I did enough to get by. I wasn't like at the bottom of the barrel or anything like that. In math, I sucked. But everything else, I was fairly good at.
English was pretty rough too.
No, my English was good. I did advanced in grade 11 and 12.
Oh,
that was like the class.
That must have happened in high school because in junior high it was a little rough.
Yeah, junior high. Well, you remember doing that project with me?
Yeah, I had to write your entire paper.
The California Blue story.
Fuck.
But no, it was really good in high school. I destroyed 10 English at like a 92 or 93.
Nicely done.
And then the teacher told me that you should go into advanced. You should do advanced English next year. So I did that. I did it in 11. Got it like in the 80s, and did it in 12. Same thing.
Nice.
And that was like I felt super smart, and it was like because it was one of those classes because I was into writing and stuff like that. It was one of those classes where I actually paid attention and took part in the discussions and stuff like that.
Imagine that. You tend to do better in the things that you're interested in.
Yeah. So, but anyway, back to what was originally. I got fucking I went off topic there. So it was geography, and now I could look at the map of Canada without any of the provinces on there.
Sure.
And I could name off all of them.
Sure.
Right? No problem. There's like the Saskatchewan part area that I get a couple mixed up sometimes. But
nobody but the people who live in fucking like Manitoba, Saskatchewan.
Yeah, like those.
They're
places.
the only ones that know where the fuck they are on the map.
But for the most part, I could point at a map and go, okay, that's that.
Yeah, sure.
So anyway, it was geography. It was a geography test, and it was a map test, and it was just on Canada. It was like do all the provinces and then the capitals,
right?
In those provinces, right?
Right.
So I go and do it, and I thought that I had bombed the whole fucking thing. I ended up pretty much acing the test, but when I went in there, but the funny thing about it is I went in there not prepared, and I guessed pretty much the whole fucking thing. And I ended up, because they showed the map, and then they had all the provinces underneath, and then you just had to, put the number of, so say like number 1 was Nova Scotia, number 2 was,
You're just matching it up.
You just match it up. I just literally, I knew the main, like the ones that I was from, like I had British Columbia, Nova Scotia, places that I lived and been.
Right.
But all the other ones, I just fucking literally just
guessing?
guessed. I went out of there going, I fucking flunked the shit out of this
Not
test.
even like the Atlantic side of things?
No, I got everything. I didn't think I think I mixed up like 2, but I pretty much got the whole thing right. And then on the fucking test, I surprised the fucking teacher. I got the test back and the teacher goes, "Well done, Jeff." That is, it was like I surprised him because normally I don't give a shit, right? And I was like, I had horrible, like, you know, test results. I never paid attention in classes, just doing whatever, right?
And suddenly a
high mark. And he was like, "Holy shit!" And I was like, "Holy shit!" So it was funny that you said that. Well, with the high mark thing.
Well, that tends to happen. Whatever, generally speaking, like when I went into university, how it tended to go out was, if I thought I had murdered a test, I did fucking terrible. And if I thought that I did fucking terrible, I murdered the test. It's always the opposite. 9 times out of 10, whatever I thought I did, it was the opposite of that. So whenever I wrote a test,
so you're like, yeah, I own that shit. What the fuck?
And then you get the test back and you're like, fucking what?
Yeah.
And then the next week, you know, I'd go in and I'd fucking write a test and I'd be like, oh man, I'd be talking to my friends and be like, guys, I just don't think I did all that well. And they'd be like, shut the fuck up, and you'd probably be fine. And I get the test back and sure enough, fucking like kill it.
Yeah, and they did poorly, and they're like, fuck you, asshole, like, you're just saying that.
Like, fuck you. And you know, poorly for me was like anything under an 80.
Yeah.
So like I got like a 78 and I was like fucking depressed about it and shit, and then everybody else was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
Adam's like, I make a dean's list, I make a dean's list. So
I almost fucking dropped out of that the first year. I just got in. I almost lost my scholarships that first year at university.
Oh shit.
You need 3.67 GPA, and I got exactly 3.67. But a lot of that was because of the fucking
how much was your scholarship worth? Must have been a fair amount.
It was $2,500 or $3,000 a year, so it was almost renewable if I kept 3.67 minimum. And I kept it for all 4 years, and I was dean's list all 4 years.
Dude, it was insane. My sister. Okay, let's just look at this action.
Speaking of insane, this is gonna be our bus time. Oh my god!
Legs! I'm so crazy. It's legs! Legs! Starcraft's happening. Holy shit! This guy went.
Oh, I'm rock hard.
This guy went Phoenix. Dude went.
By the way, this is Shakaron versus Kira. Yeah, if you mix it too, it's Shakira.
Whatever, wherever, even to be together, then you'll be me, and that's my LAGTV.
I don't even know what the words
You were just
are,
making up. You were just making up English words.
You got me head over here.
It's hard.
Do you believe in love?
It's hard to. No, I'm not fucking singing that shit.
Oh, it's the greatest of all of them.
Dude, I did. Do you believe in love with the auto tune? It's so bad. People were like, I gotta.
It was the wrong key. It sounded so. I was there. It sounded like ass.
It's hard to do the Shakira because she sounds so manly.
You mean not? No, you don't.
Or the Cher. The Cher.
Well, Cher, yeah.
Love after love.
It's yeah. Cher seriously sounds like she had maybe
but
one
Cher,
testosterone.
Cher and Shakira both kind of have the same macho man type.
Well, they have a little bit of a frog in the throat. What is happening in the main base right now? Go up.
Oh,
is this really happening?
You can't do anything. It just went pure Phoenix.
That's pretty phenomenal.
So yeah, what was I was gonna bring up something there before all this crazy shit happened.
Oh
yeah, I just got a shiver too. It's weird.
Nice.
Okay, so the school.
Yes.
My sister just graduated.
Right. Yes.
And they had the graduation ceremony at Sportsplex.
Yes.
Because it was a class of like 250.
Right.
Quite a few. I guess small comparative to some other places, but here it's fair size.
That's pretty big.
Yep. So anyway, they were going through all the people that graduated, and talking about scholarships. There was one girl that got a $50,000 renewable scholarship.
That's one that you get if you're in like.
And it was for medicine.
Yeah, it's like the top. That's like you graduated the top 3 students in the school, and you're applying to a certain school that has that, and you get that kind of thing. Like there were 2 from my graduating class in high school that received that.
That's insanity.
Yeah.
And I know what people in the States are going, that's how much it is a year for my schooling.
Yeah.
But I mean, here, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, not to go too fucking economic crazy in here, but the taxes in the States are lower. The general income for the working class of any kind is higher. And the fact that you're not paying those taxes really makes up for a lot. I mean, depending on like the higher end schools, yeah, you're going to pay a fucking ton of money.
Yeah, of course.
But that's because you're paying for a name. The same thing here. You go to some of the higher end schools, you're going to pay for a name, but it's still government subsidized, so it's whatever. But we're paying it one way or another.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. I just heard that. I was like, holy fucking titties. There was a few that had like $15,000 renewable.
Oh yeah.
And then you had like your average, you know.
No, I had like my first year was almost completely paid off because I had like some non-renewable, just one-off scholarships.
I had the black scholarship, so.
Oh, well done. I tried to opt for that, but I had to show up for the interview, and so I was hoping to just do it over the phone.
Cool. Mine wasn't renewable though. Mine was only 1 year scholarship. It wasn't renewable.
Yeah, no, the renewable ones are usually like academic based. So I left high school with a 90% average, and that was enough for the renewable at St. Mary's.
Boss.
Yeah, and it was good. It was enough, and my parents were paying half of whatever was left, and then I paid for the other half, and that's doing the work at the summer camps, and I had no debt from school.
That's pretty baller.
Oh, it was fucking.
I had about $8,000 in student debt from 1 year.
That first year, though, I almost dropped because of a religious studies professor not taking my last paper because I was sick, and he had left the office for the summer. It was the last day, the last paper, and he told me I could drop it off at his office. He had left a half hour earlier. I asked him if I could email it to him because, this is the fucking future.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, I don't take emailed things. Gave me a 0 on that paper. It dropped my mark from an A- in the class to a B-, and my GPA went from like a 3.7 something down to 3.67, right on the fucking money. And that mark was also at the end of my 4 years. I had those goals of Dean's List every year, and I wanted to graduate magna cum laude, and keep the scholarship or whatever, right? So I did all of that, except that one motherfucker dropped me my ending scholarship. In order to get a magna, it's 3.85. I had a 3.84 because of that motherfucker from the first year. I tried to take it to the dean to argue it, and of course it happened 3 years earlier, and so they couldn't do anything about it.
Oh.
That prof never looked me in the face every time I walked past him on campus after that.
Oh.
And so screw. So I just graduated. I graduated with honors, like still cum laude, but it was 3.84 instead of 3.85.
Oh man, that's. I would have fucking raged, bro.
I did. My dad.
Oh, I'm sure your dad was fucking pissed.
Well, my dad was trying to calm me down because I was ready to kill somebody because I put 4 years. I had literally accomplished everything else. No debt. Kept the scholarship. Dean's List all 4 years. Graduate magna cum laude. 3.84 instead of 3.85 is right there, and the only reason is because he wouldn't accept the paper by email. I was sick. I told him that I was sick. I couldn't drop it off at class because I was actually sick at home. And I emailed him. I was like, I couldn't make it to class today. Can I come drop it off at your office if I'm feeling better later on in the day? He said, yeah, sure. He left a half hour before, so I slipped it under the door, and I emailed him and said I dropped it off to the office. He lives in the Valley here in Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
He said, no, I already went back home. I'm not going back to the campus until next year, next semester. And he said he actually said it's a shame too. You would have had an A- in the class, and now you're going to get a B-. And I was like, why don't you just take this in fucking email? You told me I could.
You're
I tried.
Like,
I made the
goddamn
effort.
house and give
I know.
You the damn paper.
Do you want it that way? Like just
you
fucking.
Want me to like blow you?
Are you really about to do this to me? This is a fucking bird.
It's a power trip.
It's a bird course. It's a religious studies course. Intro to religious studies.
That's not very holy of you.
No.
That's what I would have said.
He's a fucking cunt.
I'd be like, where's your God? That's
And
what I would have questioned his faith right there on the spot.
Yeah, fucked me. I had to get over that, but it was whatever.
Seems like a piece of it's still there.
Oh, I'd still punch him in the throat to give him the opportunity. Absolutely. 100%.
That guy. How does he sleep at night knowing that?
Because he's a dick, but he never, after that happened, he never fucking looked at me on campus every time we walked by each other. Like, before that, we talk in class and everything, and he wouldn't even look at me or in my general direction.
He knows what he did.
He fucked up.
Yeah,
he's a fucking dick.
Yeah, he knows what he did.
He almost lost me. If he had lost me my scholarship, I would have actually killed him.
Yeah, no, that's insane. And to lose that by 0.1.
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Don't call in sick to school or work ever.
No, die trying.
As the great 50 Cent once said, get rich or die trying.
Fuck.
And Adam died trying.
Fuck. Such is life.
Get sick or die trying.
Well, this game was fascinating.
Yeah, this game was great.
Absolutely fascinating.
I have no idea what happened.
There
I know that
could-
Lings
there-
happened and the
there-
screen shaked, and
yeah.
that was it, and Shakira made an appearance.
All it looks like is that the Zerg was mildly successful, but the Protoss built in the expansion
Dude, it
and
went...
had cannons and won.
Yeah, it went Lings into Phoenix. Phoenix base died, went into Void Ray. Guy
Win.
didn't build anything
No.
other than a couple of queens and died. That was it.
All right, just to wrap this up, just give me one more hit of Shakira.
Whatever, wherever you're meant to be together, I'll be there and you'll be me, and that's my daylight here. Oh, you've got me head over heels. Tell me one more time.